Hello and welcome back to the English Fluency Podcast. I'm David.
And I'm Sara. We are so happy to have you here with us today. If you are listening to this, you are taking a huge step toward mastering a skill that opens up the entire world.
That is right, Sara. Today, we have a very special episode. It is practical, it is emotional, and it is absolutely essential. We are talking about ordering food in a restaurant. Now, that might sound simple, like, I want a burger, but we know it is much more complicated than that.
Oh, absolutely. It is about confidence. I remember when I first started traveling, I was in a restaurant in London, and I was so nervous. My hands were sweating. I was terrified the waiter would ask me a question I didn't understand. I felt so small.
I think everyone listening can relate to that feeling. It is the fear of judgment, the fear of making a mistake in public. But here is the truth. Food is the universal language, but English is the key that unlocks the door to that experience. Why is English so important in this context, Sara?
Well, think about it. English is the global lingua franca. You could be in Paris, Tokyo, or Berlin. If you don't speak the local language, the default language of hospitality is almost always English. Being able to order food isn't just about nutrition. It is about dignity. It is about getting what you want and enjoying the culture.
Beautifully said. It brings to mind a quote by Nelson Mandela. He said, "If you talk to a man in a language he understands, that goes to his head. If you talk to him in his language, that goes to his heart." When we learn English, we are trying to connect with the hearts of the people serving us and the people we are eating with.
Exactly. So today is not just about vocabulary lists. It is about problem solving. What do you do when the order is wrong? How do you ask for a modification without being rude? How do you sound natural?
We have broken this episode down into 3 main sections. First, the arrival and seating. Second, the ordering process with dietary restrictions. And third, the difficult part, handling a problem with your food. We will do a role play for each, and then we will analyze the grammar and the emotion behind it. Let's dive in. But first, let's set the mindset. To our listeners, stop striving for perfection. Strive for connection. It is okay to have an accent. It is okay to pause. The waiter wants to help you.
Right. Let's start with phase 1, the arrival. The anxiety often starts the moment you walk through the door. You see the host, and your mind goes blank.
In this role play, I will be the customer, and David, you play the restaurant host. I don't have a reservation, so I have to negotiate for a table.
Action.
Good evening. Welcome to the Golden Spoon. Do you have a reservation with us tonight?
Hi, good evening. No, I actually don't have a reservation. It was a bit of a last-minute decision. Do you happen to have any tables available for 2 people?
Let me check the system. It is quite busy tonight. I have a table, but it is outside on the patio. Is that okay for you?
Oh, actually, it looks a little chilly outside. Is there any chance we could get something indoors? We are happy to wait at the bar if it helps.
If you don't mind waiting, a booth by the window should open up in about 15 minutes.
That sounds perfect. We will wait at the bar. Thank you so much.
You are very welcome. I'll come and get you when it's ready.
Okay, let's pause there. That felt very natural. Listeners, did you notice I didn't just say, no reservation, I want table?
Exactly. Sara used softeners. These are words that make your English sound polite and less direct. Instead of saying, do you have a table, she said, do you happen to have any tables?
Yes, happen to have. It implies that I know they are busy and I am asking for a favor. It lowers the pressure. And then when David offered the outside table, I didn't say, no, I don't want that.
Right. You used a problem-solving technique. You stated the reason, it looks a little chilly, and then you proposed a solution. We are happy to wait at the bar. This is high-level communication. You are negotiating. And that is why English is important. If I couldn't explain that I was cold, I would have been stuck eating outside, shivering, and having a miserable time. Language controls your reality.
Another great phrase you used was,
Is there any chance? This is a magic phrase in English. Is there any chance we could get something indoors? It is very hard for a waiter to say no to that because it is so polite.
So, listeners, remember that structure. Acknowledge the situation, state your preference politely, and offer a compromise.
Moving on to phase 2. The order. This is where most people get nervous. The menu is huge, there are words you don't recognize, maybe you are allergic to something, or you just hate onions.
This is about taking control. You are paying for the meal, so you have the right to ask questions. In this roleplay, David will be the waiter, and I am a hungry customer who is a bit indecisive.
Let's do it.
Here are your menus. Can I start you off with something to drink while you look these over?
Yes, I'd love a sparkling water with a slice of lime, please. And actually, could you tell me a little bit about the chef's special pasta? The description doesn't mention the sauce.
Certainly. The chef's special today is a tagliatelle pasta with a creamy mushroom sauce and truffle oil. It is very rich.
Ooh, that sounds delicious. But I am trying to avoid heavy dairy today. Is the grilled salmon a lighter option?
Absolutely. The salmon is grilled with lemon and herbs. It comes with roasted vegetables. It is very light and fresh.
That sounds perfect. I'll have the grilled salmon. But could I ask for the sauce on the side? I just want to control how much I use.
No problem at all. Salmon, sauce on the side. And for your side dish, fries or salad?
I'll go with the salad, please. Thank you.
Excellent choice. I'll get that started for you.
Okay, let's break this down. There was a lot of information there.
The first thing I noticed, Sarah, was your confidence in asking for details. You didn't just guess. You asked, could you tell me a little bit about?
Yes, a lot of learners are afraid to ask what something is because they think they should know. But menus often use fancy words. It is problem solving again. I needed to know if the sauce was creamy.
And when you found out it was dairy, you pivoted. You used the phrase, I am trying to avoid. This is a great phrase for dietary restrictions. It sounds better than I don't eat dairy. It sounds like a personal lifestyle choice that requires respect.
I am trying to avoid. I love that. And then the modification. Could I ask for the sauce on the side?
Prepositions are key here. On the side. Memorize that phrase. It solves so many problems. Too spicy? Sauce on the side. Too salty? Dressing on the side.
It reminds me of a quote by the writer George Bernard Shaw. He said, "There is no sincerer love than the love of food." But I would add, there is no greater frustration than bad food because you were afraid to speak up.
That is the truth. Speaking up is a form of self-respect. When you speak English in a restaurant, you are advocating for your own happiness.
Now, David, we have to talk about the scary part.
Phase 3. When things go wrong.
This is the ultimate test of emotions and language. You ordered the steak medium rare, and it comes out like an old shoe. Well done. Or the soup is cold.
Most learners will just eat the bad food because they don't want a confrontation. But you don't need a confrontation. You just need communication. The tone is everything. You cannot be angry, but you must be firm.
Right. In this roleplay, David brings me the wrong order. I ordered a chicken burger, but he brings me a beef burger.
Let's see how you handle it.
Here we are. One beef burger with extra cheese and fries. Enjoy.
Oh, excuse me, just a moment.
Yes, is everything all right?
I'm so sorry, but I think there has been a mix-up. I actually ordered the chicken burger, not the beef burger.
Oh my goodness, let me check my notepad. You are absolutely right. I wrote down chicken. I am so sorry about that. It's no problem at all. I know it's busy in here, but would you mind changing it for me?
Of course. I will rush this back to the kitchen immediately. It will just be a few minutes. Can I bring you some more bread while you wait?
That would be lovely. Thank you for fixing it.
Sarah, that was a masterclass in handling a mistake. Listeners, did you hear how she started? She apologized.
Yes, I said, I'm so sorry, but it seems crazy to apologize when the waiter made the mistake. But culturally, in English-speaking countries, this sorry isn't an admission of guilt. It is a signal that says, I am about to give you bad news and I don't want to upset you.
Exactly. It de-escalates the situation. If you said, "Hey, this is wrong," the waiter gets defensive. But "I'm sorry, but I think there has been a mix-up," makes us a team solving a problem together.
There has been a mix-up. That is the passive voice. I didn't say, you made a mistake. I said, there has been a mix-up. It removes the blame from the person.
That is brilliant emotional intelligence. You focused on the object, the burger, not the person, the waiter. And then you validated him by saying, "I know it's busy in here."
Empathy. Empathy is part of fluency. When you show empathy in English, people want to help you. The waiter felt bad, so he offered me free bread. If I had been angry, he might have spit in my soup.
Let's hope not. But the point stands. English is the tool, but your attitude is the driver.
So, David, let's zoom out a bit. We have covered a lot of phrases, but why is this specific topic, food, so critical for our listeners?
Well, food is survival, but it is also community. I think about the quote by Virginia Woolf. One cannot think well, love well, sleep well if one has not dined well.
I love that quote. It means that our basic needs must be met with quality. When you learn English, you are giving yourself the power to dine well anywhere in the world. You are ensuring that you can nourish yourself, not just with calories, but with the experience of a good meal. And it builds momentum. If you can successfully navigate a difficult order in a restaurant, you feel like Superman. You walk out of that restaurant thinking, I did it. I spoke, they understood, I ate. That confidence carries over to your job interview, your presentation, or your social life.
It is a building block. So, I want to review some of the key vocabulary we used today. I'll say the basic version, and Sara, you give us the polite, advanced version we used.
Ready? Basic. Do you have a table?
Advanced, do you happen to have any tables available?
Basic. What is this dish?
Advanced, could you tell me a little bit about this dish?
Basic. I don't eat dairy.
Advanced, I am trying to avoid dairy.
Basic. Put the sauce separate.
Advanced, could I have the sauce on the side?
Basic. You brought the wrong food.
Advanced, I think there has been a mix-up.
These small shifts change everything. They change how people perceive you. They make you sound educated, thoughtful, and fluent.
And remember, practice makes perfect. The next time you are even in a coffee shop, practice these structures. Even if you are in your home country, you can role play in your head.
We also need to talk about the payment. We didn't do a role play for this, but it is important.
Oh yes, the awkward moment of who pays or how do we ask for the bill?
Simply catching the waiter's eye and saying, "Could we get the check, please?" is sufficient. But in the US, remember, they bring the check to the table. In some parts of Europe, you have to go to the counter. English helps you ask the right question. Do we pay at the table or at the register?
That is a lifesaver question. Do we pay at the table or at the register? Memorize that. It saves you from sitting there for 20 minutes waiting or standing up when you should be sitting.
Before we wrap up, I want to address the listeners who feel stuck, who feel like their English isn't improving. We know that feeling. The plateau. You feel like you are working hard but staying in the same place.
Learning a language is like climbing a mountain. Sometimes it gets steep, sometimes it gets foggy, but the view from the top, the ability to communicate with billions of people, is worth it.
There is a Chinese proverb that says, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now.
So true. If you didn't learn English as a child, that is okay. Start now. Use the restaurant scenario as your training ground. It is low risk. If you make a mistake, the worst thing that happens is you get the wrong sandwich. It is not the end of the world.
And honestly, some of my funniest travel stories come from ordering mistakes. I once ordered intestines instead of steak in France because I mispronounced a word. It was terrible, but we laughed about it for years.
Exactly. Embrace the mistakes. They are part of the story.
So, your homework for this week. Go to a restaurant, or even pretend in your kitchen. Record yourself ordering. Listen to your tone. Are you demanding, or are you asking? Are you using the softeners?
Could I? Would you mind? Is there any chance? Make these your best friends.
We hope this episode has made you hungry for food and hungry for learning.
We have put the full transcript of this dialogue in the show notes, along with a vocabulary list of all the food terms we discussed.
Thank you for letting us be part of your journey today. Keep practicing, keep eating, and keep speaking.
Until next time, this is David.
And Sara. Bon appétit and goodbye.